Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave, and I'm super excited to stamp with you today because I have a really cool project. It takes the Sweet as a Peach bundle, and we're going to make a really cool fall card. Now, the Sweet as a Peach bundle is part of the You're a Peach suite in our catalog, and it's this month's all-star tutorial bundle. You can get these 12 video tutorials for free with a $50 purchase in my online store, or you can get it for $15, and there is a link in the description of this video showing you how to get it either way. These projects are really awesome. So many cool things in here, so you'll really want this PDF. Now, my project today is going to combine the Sweet as a Peach bundle along with images from both the Sparkle of the Season stamp set and dies that coordinate, and we're going to make a really cool fall card, as I mentioned. I love this Sweet as a Peach bundle. It's one of my favorites from the new catalog. So I'm going to start with a card base that is Crumb Cake. We'll give that a good fold and crease with my bone folder, and then I'm going to take and create a really cool card with one of the wreath dies from that Sparkle of the Season bundle. So I die cut that in Crumb Cake. I'm also going to take a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Very Vanilla, and I've cut a 1 3/4 by 4 inch piece of the Peach DSP, the You're a Peach DSP, and we're going to do a little stamping on that. There are leaves in this set, but I really liked the little leaf image in this set because it kind of coordinates with this wreath. So I'm just going to take and stamp that in some Pear Pizzazz ink on the printed paper. I think that's one of the cool techniques that you might maybe forget that you can do is stamp on DSP. So in this case, the pattern in here is not too busy, so I can just add these little leaves to add kind of a complementary look with my design. And it's not going to be too overwhelming. So that looks, I think, kind of cool. Okay, then I will take and adhere that panel to the bottom of my vanilla cardstock with some of my seal. And then I want to adhere this to my card itself. Now, to make this a little fancier, if you will, I'm going to take some of our diamond weave ribbon. This is from the holiday catalog, and place that across here like so, just over that border. Now, to do that, I'm going to use some Seal Plus. Now, this stuff is really sticky, and it will really hold that ribbon onto my card in place, not move like that. Okay, so that looks good. Now I've got this gorgeous wreath. I want to attach it to my card, and my favorite way of doing that is with a little trick using a silicone craft sheet, some liquid glue, and a sponge or a sponge dauber. Either will work. So I'll squeeze a little bit of the glue out. I'll take my sponge and daub this on. Now I'm going to put this on the backside on my silicone mat and just apply some glue to the back. I don't need a ton, just a little bit so that this will adhere. Now when you're using any intricate die like this, you can adhere them to your cards like this. I actually like it better than our multi-purpose adhesive sheets, and it's less expensive. So isn't that pretty? That looks fantastic. All right, I also want to take a scrap of vanilla cardstock, and I'm going to stamp those flowers from our peach stamp set with some Cajun Craze ink on my vanilla cardstock. I love using vanilla cardstock for fall cards. Okay, so that looks great. And then there's this cute little center image, and I'm going to stamp that with some rich Razzleberry ink in the center of each of these, like so. Really cute. Okay, Now, by the way, if you love this Wreath Sparkle of the Season bundle, I have a fabulous class that makes kind of several seasons worth of cards, and lots of fun stuff in that class. If you're interested, I'll put the link in the description of this video for you. Okay, now I have gone ahead and die cut these ahead of time. I did some just before I started filming, and there we go. I also took from our peach dies, there are 2 sizes of flowers, and I took those dies and die cut them in 3 colors. I've got some, let's see, cinnamon cider, Blackberry, Bliss, and rich razzleberry. And I think all of these are going to make some really nice looking fall cards. Now, to really kind of, I like to make my cards a little bit more dimensional. So I'm going to kind of smoosh this. And I've been using that. I guess that's my own official stamping term. But I like adding a little bit of dimension to my cards. If you have watched very many of my videos, you know that is my favorite thing. And so I'm going to start by building up my beautiful wreath with some of these flowers. I'll use the biggest one first. And I'll just kind of tack that in like that. Don't worry, we're going to add some fun embellishments to this as well. And then I've got this one right here and my third one over here. So it's kind of on the side of my wreath. That looks great. I also want to add some of these, there are 2 sizes of flowers. I'm going to use the larger size. And by the way, a take your pick tool is really helpful in picking up and placing these little tiny flowers. Okay, so I've got my 3 bigger ones. These are in Blackberry Bliss ink, and we will attach them on here kind of like this. We'll spread them out. By the way, if you want, you can also kind of arrange everything beforehand so that you're comfortable. I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and I want to add this in next just so I can kind of place it on here. And I'll place it here. Now, I have to tell you, I have been struggling with which color to do this sentiment. I have die cut it in Crumb Cake, in Cinnamon Cider, and in Old Olive, trying to decide what color I think would be best, and I settled on Cinnamon Cider, so I hope that will work. And I'm going to take from the Peach set a little sentiment that says, "Let's celebrate you." And I think this is a great card for a fall birthday or some other kind of fall celebration for somebody. So let's celebrate you, and then we can add this to our card. Now I want to pop this up because, like I said, everything is better popped up. And to do that, I'm just going to take one of the edge pieces of my dimensionals. So I need some scissors to kind of cut this apart, and I'm just going to cut this length, and I'm actually going to cut this down. So I'm cutting away some things. So I've got a pretty skinny strip here, and that's because this is a pretty skinny little piece. We also have foam adhesive sheets that would work really well, but I just happen to have this a little handier. Okay, so we'll add that right there. And then I'm going to continue adding my flowers. Now for this part, I want to adhere them with a little bit of liquid glue, and this will take a little bit of patience, but it's worth it in the end when you do this. So I've got several flowers, and we'll see if that's enough dots of glue. And by the way, if you can keep the centers of those flowers in the flower, that is great. So again, the smaller sized flowers are in rich razzleberry and cinnamon cider. And I just die cut them twice. There's actually several die. There's 2 2 or 3 dies of this smaller sized flower, which is great because then you can die cut several at once, which is, of course, very simple. And then I'm just setting them on those little daubs of glue that I added to my card. And the great part is it's really easy to do. And it's even easier if the center of that flower kind of stays in. If not, it will dry clear, so you won't see it. It's not a big deal. You just have to be patient while it dries, that's all. And sometimes that's the hardest part, let's be honest. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now we're going to kick this up just another little notch. I think this is so pretty. I also think I kind of have a bunch of flowers down here, so I might need to add one more flower. This is kind of the perfectionist in me. We're going to throw one more flower right here. Like this. Okay. Now this is for somebody special, by the way. Okay. Now I have some gold pearls. Or at least I did. I did before I started shooting this video. And look at this. I'm going to take and add these to the centers of my flowers here. So pretty. I can't imagine my life without my Take Your Pick tool. It is just so darn handy. So I've put those in the center of the 3 stamped and die cut flowers. I will also put them in the center of those blackberry flowers. Those are the slightly larger ones. I'm not going to put them in all of them because I think that would get to be a little bit overwhelming, but I think this looks really pretty. Okay, so that's my card so far. Now I can do a couple more touches to make this really special. I'm going to take one of my markers and do a little spritzing. I'm going to take my cinnamon cider marker and I'm going to just spritz like that on there. That looks pretty awesome. And then one final touch is I'm going to take my Clear Wink Estella and I will spritz on this as well. You just need something to smack it against. And we are going to go like this. And that just adds a little shimmer to your card. All right, so there we go. Oh, one more thing I want to add to this. I feel a little bit like my ribbon here is just kind of sitting across. We need to sort of jazz that up. So I'm going to take some linen thread and cut off a good length of it. And then I want to take and add this in a double bow on my card. So I'll just fold it in half and cut that length off. Then I'm going to peel this up and tie this on. So I'll kind of put this back down and then we'll tie this bow onto our card. And we'll scooch it over a little bit like that. Okay, I'll gather it and kind of tie it taut, but then stick it back down with that, our nice sticky Seal Plus. And then I'll just tie my bow around this. Now, if you are, I lost my ends here a little bit. If you are interested in purchasing any of the supplies that I used for this project, you can shop my online store. I've got links to all the supplies that I've used today linked below. It's in the description of this video as well as on my blog. And don't forget, you can get a free All-Star tutorial PDF for the amazing You're a Peach suite. When you shop with me, you can also get a free celebration item when you spend $50 in our online store as well. So I hope you loved this awesome card. Thank you so much for stamping with me today, and I will see you soon.